Guys, Deluded Goon, and now in regards to the Q&A show things, I don't want to call it a show. I mean, I'm making a little video for you guys to humor yourselves with. But in regards to my Q&As, you guys reacted positively. Football is constantly evolving. If Alexis left tomorrow, Monday, would you guys wait for me on Thursday to answer any of your questions? No. So in that regards, that's probably why I don't even have a schedule to upload videos as well. It's just off the cuff stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know some of you hate it. But yeah, in that regards, I'm probably going to try and do them on Thursdays, Thursday, Friday, probably Fridays, because there'll be nothing on a Friday bar the main Friday night football. And I mean, I can do it before, guys want to go out and things like that. So yeah, Sunday, the wider footballing, we can get some wider footballing perspective, because mainly there'll just be European leagues playing late into the night. Premier League will be finished. So in that regards, let's go again. Second Q&A. Kieran.Gibbs, I think that's his at name on Twitter. He's changed it to Oxlade Chamberlain. I put that in brackets so I can remember it. Forgive me if I've messed up your thing. But he said first game at Highbury/Emirates. Well, my first game at Highbury was against Charlton, and my second one, I don't know my second one at the Emirates, to be honest, because in between saving up all my Kit Kat money, obviously we all used to sell in school, everything in school. Between going to the Emirates Cup, going to the initial Carling Cup features, going to FA Youth Cup games, I really couldn't pinpoint when it is. Like I said, I'm in my 20s. When did the Emirates opened in 06? So you've got to imagine, I'm a teenager going into secondary school around 06, 07 and them things. So I'm becoming a teenager. Obviously, with that, you can go places a bit more and things of that nature. So I've been to countless. I wish I could remember it, and I probably sound like an idiot not being able to remember it, but I couldn't have been to a whole dozen, to be honest. I'd say the first one of memory doesn't answer your question. One that sticks out in my head is the FA Youth Cup winning side with Jack Wilshere and my guy Kokelele. So yeah, second one. Camille Ayila. Forgive me if I pronounced that name wrong. If City don't win the league, surely Pep should be sacked, considering how much money spent /youth talent. I agree, but I disagree. It's if he doesn't get in the top four or mount a sustained title challenge where they're out of it in the likes of late April, May, it's hard to really justify spending all of that money, 50 million on Kyle Walker, signing a guy who I believe can be the best creative midfielder in Bernardo Silva, signing XYZ. You can't, and on top of the following season, you can't really spend all of that and not really have cause for you to be sacked or some sort of case. I know if Jose did it, a lot of people would want his head gone. So in regards to that, I can't really disagree with you. There will be some serious questions if it's not a sustained title challenge in his second year, and definitely if he survived the second year, his third year, he'd have to do something. But I personally believe a sustained title challenge, I'd say second, not really third, but second minimum, they can kind of get away with that without questions being asked of Pep. So I hope I've answered that for you. Have not got your here, guy. So sorry, but I know you're in my comments somewhere in one of my videos. Whoever it was, forgive me again. If Alexis leaves after this season, who would I be happy to replace him with? Now, in the terms of that, if Alexis leaves, it's hard for me to think of Arsenal that's going to get someone that is going to replace his output. I mean, he got 20 plus goals, 15 assists. The only players that are going to do that are the likes of Suarez and them creme de la creme players. I would love to be able to go and get them, but in between not being able to convince them to leave Barcelona, for example, to Arsenal, not being willing to spend that sort of money, we're not going to get that. So I'd probably say Thomas Lemar. He can play centre middle on the flanks. There's Carrasco, who I've got an eye for. There's Douglas Costa, who we could have used as a stopgap. These are just off the top of my head. There's a lot of different creative wingers and things like that, but none. And I would love Dembele from Dortmund. There's all different players, but none of them are going to match the output in between being a youngster with promise or whatnot. So I don't really know, to be honest with you. I'd probably say a youngster where he has space to grow and develop, because I can't see us signing someone like Alexis, and that's a big reason as to why I'm scared of Alexis going. Because if we were United, Manchester United, or the Cities, even Chelsea, you can rest assured that they're going to replace them players. It took us 3 years to get Lacazette. Can I really be confident? Hope I've answered that question. What's the next question? Do I agree with the way Dembele's acting? I really need to start remembering your act. Mike Torby said that. Do I agree with the way Dembele's acting, and is he forcing a move? Of course he's forcing a move, my guy. Barcelona and them sides there. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it. They in the day and age, there's different advisors and people tapping you up. Social media, we don't know what he's seen and what people are saying. He was in Paris, we don't know what people are saying. He's a young guy. He grew up watching Barcelona and the Javis and the Messis. I can forgive him for having his head turn. It is quite disgraceful and unprofessional, and he kind of left René's his team in France in similar situations when he wanted to leave. I don't pass for it, but I can understand it. And I hope that answers your question. Now, Yank for Arsenal. Can you explain the difference between the left and the right hand side when players play? Because I think people overcomplicate it. Does it make much of a difference? Yes and no. Of course, it doesn't make much of a difference, but it doesn't. I mean, if you can play on the left, in theory, you can play on the right. Yes, some players are more comfortable than others. Ox has played on the left hand side of playing on the flanks, so him going over to the left back position wasn't a problem. And then you've got players like, let's just say, Robin or Bell. Or Di Maria, if you put them on the right hand side, managers might want to put them on the right hand side so they can cut in. If you cut in, you have more opportunities. Not only that, they might want to make the pitch narrow so that their fullbacks can overtake them. So you imagine what I just said about Bell tucking in. If you imagine Carvajal, let's just say Zidane said, I'd like you to overlap. Carvajal has a lot of space now. Why? Because Bell's not there in that space. So obviously, you imagine if you're in a room and you leave the room, there's tons more space. Best example for me to put it to you. Left and the right doesn't really make much of a difference. Of course, you can't go there and put in left backs at right back and stupid things like that. But I hope I've answered your question. Now, what else is there? Flip page. Mobe Guna. What do I think of the English core? Was it worth it or complete failure? Now, it's a mixture of things. I actually had to write that down for you guys. Between Wenger not pushing the team, between injuries, between it all being cozy at Arsenal, between us getting out of financial constraints, where the plan was clearly to rely on these players because we'd take a bit to get out of financial hardship, rely on these players, let them get through us. But we got out of it. And you then saw the beginning. Ozil came. That now took Wilshere to a degree out of the equation because he's not the creative hub. If Ozil didn't exist or we were never in for Ozil, Wilshere, fitness providing, would have been the creative hub, would have been number 10. Well, he actually is number 10 and things like that. So yeah, and even when they are all fit, you can say they're vital to the side, but you can also make a case for they're not vital to the side. So you could also say it's a complete failure, but you could say it's a success. I don't believe it is a complete failure. I mean, Ramsey's playing pretty damn well. Ox looks like he's coming into his own. The sentiment in me will not allow me to give up on Wilshere, whether he's at this club or not. But the rest of them, of course, I mean, Gibbs arguably became more consistent than all of them. Okay, but now he's gone. Jenkinson, Lol. So yeah, you could argue both sides, to be honest with you. You'd probably have to say it's a failure, sadly. But yeah. Sean McClin, United fan. I hope I've said your name. Forgive me, guy, man. And I know you're excited because you won today. Any concerns with Arsenal in Europa League, and does it impact your chances of top 4? Do you have the squad? Yes or no? On paper, you like to say we'd have the squad because I don't care about Europa League, my guy. I mean, I would like my youngsters to play only if we get to the semi-finals and the final, take it seriously. But on the basis of that, you wouldn't think so. But in real terms, it will, because we're going to be playing in the FA Cup on paper, Carling Cup on paper, the Premier League and Europa League. That's 2 extra games, I believe. You've got to play. I can't even remember how many games you've got to play to get to the final, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 extra games. So you could say it will impact. I don't think it will, because Wenger doesn't show like he really necessarily cares. He said he will play a strong side, but it will be similar towards the Carling Cup and FA Cup sides. At least I hope. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Let's 22 or Skype Skits S2 at Skits S2 on Twitter. Most exciting team right now for me, PSG, because of the Brazilians. I mean, Neymar, Alves, etc., etc. There's Madrid, of course. They stand a chance to retain. Win their 3rd in a row Champions League, retain the Champions League again. I still don't want to give up in Barcelona. The football, I still find Barcelona exciting. Yes, it's the worst Barcelona side of recent years, but I still believe in them. I still kind of like them as a footballing side. If I was a footballer in Barcelona came, I'd snake it, enjoy it, leave my team and go. There's just nothing about it. I mean, as long as Messi's there, I'll always find them exciting, in my opinion. And Suarez. Shame Neymar's not there anymore. But yeah, so that ends the QA. Sorry if I've forgotten you guys' names. I'll get better at this as it goes on. Get in the comments if you for Thursday/Fridays one. Get in these comments if you want me to answer any other questions. Share it for me, like it, join the debate. Thank you very much, everybody that answered me questions. I'm very sorry if I've said your name or didn't say your name at all. I'm more a footballing man. This YouTube thing, I'm learning it as I go ahead. But yeah, Q&A done. Signing out, man. Thank you for watching.